Hey guys, welcome back to 100% Chelsea and welcome back to the Green Man Pub in Wembley for episode 2 of South Bastards Corner. Now I'm joined by somebody different this week, Mr. Ian Craig. You would have seen him on the channel. He does podcasts and he's done the odd video on the channel here and there. So, welcome today.
Thank you, thanks for having me.
And I think we might as well get straight into it. So, We'll start with Twitter. We've got 4 from Twitter today again. The first one comes from, great name by the way, Androlo Krogba. And exactly, it's beautiful. And he asks, I'd like to hear your stories about how you fell in love with the club through birth, family, friends, travels, players, connections, employment, etc. I think that'll be some good content. Well, it probably will. First game, which you talked about last week, so we'll say first player ever met and stuff like this. So I'll let you begin.
It's a big task. So, how I fell in love with Chelsea. My dad went to his first Chelsea game 1971 against Blackpool, so kind of it's always been in the family. His uncle went before him. Me personally, been going since 2004 against West Ham in the League Cup. Yeah, so what's that, 14, 15 years basically now, long time. First player I ever met though, luckily enough, my family won a competition. You know, Chelsea does weird competitions. Yeah. We won a competition to go and get corporate entertainment on Boxing Day. We ended up meeting the one and only Kerry Dixon, who was doing the pre-game speaking and stuff, which very interesting bloke. I mean, I was 10 at the time, so I just kind of went like, wow. But yeah, no, very interesting bloke. It was a very weird one. Luckily, I've met a fair few more now, but Kerry Dixon was the first one for me.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great shout. Absolute legend at the end of the day. Now, I know he's had his troubles, we all know that, but at the end of the day, you can't take away from the fact that he's
pure quality.
He's, at the end of the day, he was an unreal player. Yeah. And though we weren't old enough to see him live, we still appreciate it at the end of the day. I mean, for me, obviously, I explained last week about my first game, but I'm now 4th generation Chelsea, so it's really followed through the family. I think my family's been supporting ever since Chelsea existed, really. So there was no other club I could choose. Now I know a mate, when I was a lot younger, my mate bought me an Arsenal bag, and my dad trashed it as soon as I got it. Trashed it like so. I knew I had to be a Chelsea fan from the moment. You know, I was born pretty much. First player I ever met, I believe, was Bobby Tamlin. So you know, you can't get many better, really. To be honest, I was privileged about that. And he does actually come if you're around the Chelsea games and you manage to get into some of the Chelsea pubs. He does go into them every now and again, so there's always a chance to have a chat with him. He's always up for a chat and he's always up for a photo, so he's a great guy. And the thing is, he still goes to games.
Proper Chelsea.
Which I love about. Exactly,
yeah, proper
Chelsea. Good question there. So we've got the next one coming in from Jimmy Funnell. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I think he asked 2 questions, but we'll just go to one, which is, will we be going to any away games in Europa League group stages? Well, personally, I cannot guarantee myself that I'll be going to any, but you may be going to some?
I mean, I want to do all 3, really. But, I mean, Panathinaikos is looking very unlikely.
POK, 2 different teams.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Still,
it catches people out all the time.
Either way, I ain't going. I'm not going.
That's a pub quiz question, that one, actually.
I want to do Budapest. The other one I do want to do, but realistically, probably going to be a no.
One thing I will say, just to cut off camera, we are 100% going to Budapest because that's a week before my 21st, so I don't care what anybody says.
You heard it here first, 100% Budapest, there you go. And the rest is what, 25%?
25% for PAOK, because student budget and all that.
Yes.
And it's in 2 weeks.
Yeah, pretty much. And like 50% certain about Belarus, so I mean, we might go, we might not, we're deciding.
Yeah, but we will be out to at least one of the games and we'll be doing content out there, and hopefully if we progress as well, then ideally we'd all like to be out there and we have a little bit more money and a bit more time available to us. Next question coming from Fatu Hasatrio. I mean, I've murdered that. I've absolutely murdered. I'm so sorry. But he says, now most of the players are away because of international duties, as we know. Loftus-Cheek, how many years will it take for him to get to his best in England shirt?
Do you want me to be completely real?
Talk to me.
I think we might have already seen his best in an England shirt, which sounds really bad, but he's realistically, 22
22, 23, I think, around that.
Realistically, he needs to pull his finger out if he's going to be a established England household name for years to come. I mean, realistically, about 25, you really kind of want to have your name in there cemented, and then realistically for what? 32, 33 could probably carry on for England, something like that.
Yeah, but I think that begs the question, then does he need to get more game time at Chelsea, or should he go somewhere else?
Realistically, I think he should go elsewhere. It sounds bad because he's one of our own and stuff, but for me, I want to see players progress. You know, from an England fan point of view, I want to see players progress. I want to see people get minutes. Same way I'd like to see Harry Kane go and play in Spain, partially because I think it would be great because Chelsea wouldn't have to play him, but also the fact that he deals with, you know, the big players, whether he goes to play to Barcelona, Real Madrid, whoever it be. In terms of him being at Chelsea, I don't necessarily know whether he's going to be able to break into that team. There was another question I saw, which I'm going to briefly touch on. It was, should we play him ahead of Kovacic because we want to develop him? Realistically, I mean, I'm realistically looking at it going, you need to play whoever's best for the system that you play. I currently think that Loftus-Cheek is not the best person to start in that system.
Yeah, I
mean, it all could change, of course.
Well, a lot. I still rate Ruben Loftus-Cheek. My personal opinion is, as a midfielder, you hit your peak at your mid-20s.
Yeah.
So, and he's getting close to it now. So this is the time where he needs as much game time as he can get. And he probably won't get it at Chelsea. I mean, are we going to play enough cup games? That's the question. You know, because that's his chance. But look. What we'll say is he came on against Bournemouth and he was good. He was good against.
I was sitting with you. We said
exactly. And he was good against Bournemouth, but it's still not. He can be as good as he likes, but at the end of the day, it just comes down to who is best out of the three that we pick in midfield. And at the moment, you wouldn't say it, would you?
No. I've always said, I mean, in international football and in normal football, try and pick players that are on form. I mean, Kovacic now has got more form than Loftus-Cheek has. Could change, of course. If we play a Europa League game, Loftus-Cheek plays and scores a hat-trick or something like that, then there's a question to be asked. But now, I don't think... I don't personally think that he deserves a place in the team now. Could do later.
Well, now. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. But don't get me wrong, we want to see Ruben Loftus-Cheek succeed at the end of the day. I mean, that's the be all and end all. And it's like if it is going to be the case that he's got to move away to achieve that, then let it be. I mean, he's still young, and he's still got improving to do. So, you know, we'll see. But I mean, we had a chat before we started filming actually about the fact that English players. It's sort of touching on another point, but I feel like it's worth bringing up anyway. There was a time where a lot more English players played out in Europe, and nowadays, you know, there's not really big players who are out in Europe. And the thing which you notice is all these foreign players, they play in our leagues, they play all over different leagues in Europe, but they adapt to the systems of the countries they're playing in. So, you know, people from Germany and people from Spain, people from Argentina, they play in England. And they get used to the English way of playing. And so once they get to international football, that's why a lot of the time, they're just so good. And it correlates because when we had those players playing in European teams, and you look at the English players who went to Italy, they learned it. You know, they learned more techniques, they learned different skills, different tactics, this type of thing. But we were performing so well when English players were out there.
Yeah, gotcha.
So, for me, surely there's a correlation there. You know what I'm saying?
I think for me, I mean, I've always loved watching English football and watching the national team. I always have. Obviously, it hasn't necessarily been great times the whole way through, but realistically, I think there's almost an arrogance with it because it's like we have the best league in the world. Like many people know that it's like this. It's this opinion. It is completely opinion, but it's so well believed. It's basically a fact.
Yeah.
And I think for me, and I don't know how other people feel about this, but why would you want to leave? The big money is here. Unless you're going to go to the Barcelonas, the Real Madrids, the Juventus is now, they've got a bit of money behind them, Atletico Madrid as well, PSG of course. Why would you want to leave this massive league and the country where you know how everything works to go and adapt? For me, I'd see it as a great opportunity, but for other people, it's like, why risk it?
Yeah.
Why risk it?
Yeah, well, that's just the way the football's going.
Of course it is, yeah.
But that is the reality of it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a great question. It still allows us to have a good chat about it anyway, so thank you for that question. Next one comes from Guy Hillis, and he asks, do you think Dave has been average this season, but because it's Dave, we will just give him a bypass? And for those maybe who don't know who Dave is, it's Cesar Azpilicueta, which might as well just explain that. But it's a good question.
It is a good question. And I think that it depends on... I mean, I don't think Dave's been average. I think he's been rather good, actually.
I'll give you that. I think he has been all right.
I would argue at the fact that... realistically, he is what I would call a bread and butter player.
Yeah.
He does his job, he does his thing, and that's what he's there to do. If you're thinking Dave's going to run forward and get 20 assists a season or something like that, whipping balls into the box and Morata like he did last year, the reason he could do that is because he basically had that little bit of freedom because he played in a back five. Now he's in a back four. Every single one of the back four has to do their job properly, otherwise it doesn't work.
Yeah.
He can't afford to keep going forward, and his main responsibility in the team is to defend and get the ball forward when he can. But in a back four, let's be honest, the start of the season's been a bit shaky. Well, yeah, I mean, your main priority is not to go forward at that time.
But we've still kept clean sheets.
Oh,
and at the end of the day, it takes every member of the back four to keep a clean sheet.
Exactly.
And there's only, I mean, maybe based on the biggest game where we had so far, which is against Arsenal.
Yes.
And that was probably the game where I'd say he was, the worst is the wrong word, but he was probably not as good as he's been in the past games, like Newcastle, Huddersfield and Bournemouth.
Yeah.
But that was because I reckon he was swapping too much with Rudiger. But it's early,
Yeah.
and I think it goes back to the main point you were saying. Like it's been a long time since he's played in a back four, played right back.
Yeah.
So he may, in parts, he's been average, but I think we can both agree that although he's had a few shaky like performances or bits of games where he's been a little bit shaky, overall I think he's been okay, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I mean you mentioned, mate, that there is there's the whole thing about him being Dave, so he has this reputation. Well, yeah, I mean, of course, and there's no question he deserves it, because let's be honest, we will understand if he has the odd off day and that sort of thing, but the commitment he's given over the past few years he's probably
he's a proper servant. He's
exactly.
a proper servant. Yes, he gets a bit of respect because of it, and he deserves that respect. But I wouldn't say that it's unjust, the fact that we kind of bypass the fact that he's been poor, or not as good as, because the whole back four has been not perfect.
Yeah,
I don't think it's just a Dave thing. I think it's a bit greater than that.
Yeah.
But I would say just to have it against Dave is no.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand where you're coming from. By asking the question.
Yeah.
Definitely can. But I think that it was another good question again. Great question.
It is a good question. It is. Yeah.
So with that, we'll move on to Instagram now. The first one is coming from the Dominic One, and he asks, "Can a fan come to a match and feature in a fan cam?" Well, simply put, of course you can. We're there, and we're there to hear what you have to say, and we're there for a good long while. And Louis is always there. He's always open to people. And of course we got regulars every now and then, but there's always time for new people. If you've got something good to say, we want to hear it at the end of the day. So feel free. If you're coming down to a home game upcoming, Cardiff we got soon.
Yeah.
If you're coming to that, come along. Tell us who you are. Tell us that you asked a question for this, and we'll get you on. We'll try to anyway. So yeah. That's pretty much, that's all I can say really.
Yeah. All the regulars that are on the channel now, they had a first time doing a fan cam. They are just fans. We are just normal people that support Chelsea.
Yeah.
If you want to come and do it, come and find us.
Exactly. I
couldn't do it always in the same place.
Yeah.
Always.
Exactly. I mean, that's pretty much it, really.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
So
good to see you down.
It would be, yeah. If you can get down, come down. Simple as. Another one comes in from BH Bisbo. I hope I pronounced that right again. I'll be honest, my pronunciations of names are going to be diabolical doing this show, but I'll try my best anyway.
It'll be a laugh.
I'm just glad I don't have to pronounce the Hungarian team and the Hungarian league anyway. I'll tell you that.
Vida.
No, the old thing. I can hardly do that anyway, to be honest with you.
Sorry, bro.
No. I need to. Once we're done, I'm going to get up the Hungarian league, and I want you to try and pronounce that, right? And we'll see. We'll see.
I'm going to mash it now.
I'm going to mash it up.
Do you want to have a look now?
Do it now. Here you go. Right.
This is going to be impossible for me. I think the league has got a bunch of accents on it as well, which, if we're really going,
there was.
I'll show them that now quickly. Focus. Right, can you see that?
Great cameraman skills.
Yeah.
So, there we go. Right, there's a league name.
Oh. Nemzeti, I got that one. Bajnasag.
Right, I need to have a look. Here. No, you're not getting anything out of me here. Nemzeti Bajnok Sag 1. That's
I get one. Yeah, I can do that one. That was easy.
You got to get the one in there. Right, if there's any Hungarians watching, please tell us how to say it right.
But then, do we get the town where the FC Vida's from?
Oh, bloody hell.
Let's go, let's have a look.
Okay.
Can I just say, if we win, somebody has to say in their Fancam, we're living the Vida Loca. It has to be said.
That is good.
I'm sorry.
I like that.
Should we move on to the next question?
Yeah, let's
segue and we'll come back to it. So the next question, I mean that question before as well was another great one. It's led us to a great chat anyway.
We still haven't done that,
now we didn't even do the question.
We didn't do the question. No.
So from BH Bispo, the best and worst season under Abramovich. Now I'll let you start with this one.
Worst, surprisingly, is the 2015-16 season, as we were horrendous. We were horrendous. I was saying to you beforehand, saying it got to a certain point, it got to about Christmas where we all kind of went, yeah, we're buggered, but we still had the FA Cup, which for about 5 minutes we believed we could win, until we come up against Everton and Lukaku run us riot. It was an awful season. It was an awful season, and we didn't really add anything to our team. We brought in Pedro. Pedro was like a big spark for us, but I mean, that was the one where we had. That was the one we had Pato, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh god, it was. That's what I remember. That's the only thing I remember from really.
Literally, I've been a fan of Pato for years, ever since he dominated Barcelona in the Champions League, and I got really, really excited when he turned up, and then he did nothing. Nothing. I was gutted.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, personally for that season, like as you said, my personal opinion is I gave up on everything. And I just enjoyed the rest of the season by Christmas. But in terms of performances, it was definitely the worst. I mean, there's just no question. And I think Abramovich himself was probably just kicking himself, thinking, what is going on here, to be honest. But it all started with the Ivo Carnero thing, didn't it? And after that, it just went downhill.
Have to say, though, that season we did have a good laugh at certain points.
We did, yeah.
When we basically admitted that we were finishing 10th.
And I think
it was a good laugh.
We need to add, though, the fact that, was it the Spurs? I'm trying to think. Was it the Spurs game where am I right in thinking
what for
15-16
where Hazard scored and Leicester won the league? That was probably one of the best moments at Stamford Bridge Stadium.
That was that season, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I was right next to the Spurs fans, right on the very edge. I'd say that's one of the best times I've ever had at Stamford Bridge. Just giving it large to Spurs fans, I tell you, it's something else. It's something else. But I mean, it was a terrible season, but it ended in a great game of football.
Oh, yeah.
Like
it did.
It was brilliant. And then the best one, well, Champions League winning one. It's not the best season in terms of Premier League, but at the end of the day, it's stapled in history. We finally won the Champions League on that night in May 2012. That's it. Doesn't matter what else happens. I mean, to be honest, we could have finished. We could have finished one spot above relegation and still win the Champions League. I wouldn't have even cared. The Champions League is the ultimate.
It's done. It's there. You know that song we now sing, "We've won it all"?
Yeah.
We couldn't sing that if we hadn't have won the Champions League.
Simple as. And so...
We've got the name for the Hungarian...
Right, he's got the name. He's got the name. Let's go.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, just quick peruse, if you can see it. There you go. I mean, this is probably the most Brexit conversation you'll ever go through. Right, there we go. Right, gents.
Come on.
Okay. It's going to come up on the screen here as well, by the way.
Chelsea F.C.
Right, I shouldn't laugh because this turns me up. Zekes Fevra. No, I can't do it. I really can't.
I reckon if we say it in an accent, we'd probably nail it, but that's going.
Zekes Fevra.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd do.
There you go.
That'd do.
I sound like Count Dracula.
And so we've got two more. The last one from Insta, and then we'll move on to Sad Basketball Corner. So from Hussey_Joe, from Saturday's game, I feel like we're trying to walk the ball into the net and maybe overplaying too much. Do you feel our attackers and midfielders need to have more shots from outside the area?
I mean, I think we've like that for years. I think Matic was the only one that we really had in the last 5 years that could properly hit.
But it was a rarity. It was a rarity.
Exactly. That was the main issue. The fact that he had it on lock and he could do it, but he just never did. He had obviously the one against Spurs at Wembley was the standout. I remember in his first game, I think it was his first game back against Man City at the Etihad, where he hit the bar and he had a shot. It was against Man City. And you just looked at it and thought, we've got someone here. We've got the Essien, the Ballack, the Lampard, some sort of element like that back.
Yeah.
But he just never did it. Never did it. Do I think we need to have more shots from outside the area? Yes. Do I think we were trying to walk the ball into the net on Saturday? No. Because we did have a couple of shots from outside the box, but I mean, and I said it in my Fancam afterwards, Bournemouth were defensively just very good.
Yeah.
Give credit where credit's due, they were just very good. We didn't try and walk it in, we just tried to get into a position where we could shoot from.
Exactly, with Newcastle and Bournemouth, when you put that amount of players behind the ball, it's going to be hard to get through. I mean, I will give him credit. I mean, I think he's probably thinking of the whole Sarri ball thing and the fact that we're trying to get the passing together. But it's early days with that as well. So, I mean, I think given time, we'll probably find ways to get through. But, another good question, and that'll do us for here. And next question will be at Sad Bastards Corner. So we'll see you in a bit. So welcome back to Sad Bastards Corner, and we're here again with Ian, and we've got a question of the week coming from Priya_Mia1, and she asks, what do you think about the comments Courtois made discussing the different levels between Chelsea and Real Madrid? And if you don't know, Courtois has said the Bernabeu is twice as big as Stamford Bridge. It's a very different feeling. If you look forward, you're going to see a wall of people, while at Stamford Bridge, you're going to see the sky with a hotel behind the grandstand. Now, talk to me. What do you think of it?
I mean, he's entitled to his own opinion, but he's a bit of a prick, really, isn't he?
Yeah,
honest.
Yeah. He can't way of putting it.
I mean, the wall of people, whatever he wants to say about Real Madrid, but let's be honest, the people that you see in that wall of people in Real Madrid aren't proper Madrid fans.
Exactly.
They're supporters, they're tourists that come from all over the world. They want to sit behind the goal and have that little section where Chelsea, 40,000 people, but we're all singing for the one cause. We all know what we're doing, and something especially like the Matthew Harding or the Shed or things like that. Big like the Matthew Harding. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's actual real people. There's real stuff going on there. Yes, their stuff is probably more impressive than ours, but we're in the best league in the world, and he's not.
I mean, at the end of the day, today is actually the first day I heard about this. As soon as Lou told me, I was pissed off. I can't lie. Like he's already he's done well for Chelsea, but I mean he's been nothing majorly special, to be honest with you. And he's just adding fuel to the fire. And with all these comments he keeps coming out with now, I'm just thinking to myself, just honestly,
he's going to be his worst. He's going to be his worst own enemy. He is.
Yeah, and the thing is, we're finding it hilarious that he's still sitting on the bench. I mean, to be honest with you, a lot of us thought when he went to Real Madrid he'd be starting Eden Navas. But so far he hasn't been, and maybe it'll take a bit of time. But you think paying all, not paying all that money. We didn't. I mean, they paid a lot less than we paid for Kepa anyway. But paying for a keeper like that, who got to the final four of the World Cup. You know, you'd think he'd be, and to be fair, he had a decent performance in that as well. But you'd think he'd be straight in there, playing the games
because he should. He should
exactly. But I mean, based on his comments, I'm just thinking he clearly didn't have any proper respect for Chelsea. I mean, we've made his career in the day. We gave him the loan to Atletico, and we helped him. And then we brought him back to Chelsea. We played him in the day. We've done for you. We've helped you get to this point. If you hadn't have gone to Madrid for our help and you haven't played for Chelsea for our help, you wouldn't be at the point in your career where you are now. You're in a privileged position. And I don't think, and that's why, as Chelsea fans, loads of players come and go. But you know, we still respect them. They may not have been brilliant, but we'll still give them a clap when they come see us. But it's one of the few players where we just, I mean, if he comes back to the bridge, he's just not going to get a good reception at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, for me, one big thing is at Real Madrid, they don't let people retire there. They will move them on towards the last few stages of their career because they feel there's something better there. Courtois, who is he doing any favours towards? What club is going to turn around to him and go, yeah, I'll take him, I'll do this, I'll do that? Because all he's going to do is slate you off at some point because you're not Real Madrid, you're not this, you're not that. Exactly. He's going to struggle, and if he ain't careful, he's going to shoot himself in the foot big time.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. And as I said, if he does come back to Stamford Bridge, personally, I'll be really, really annoyed. I won't boo him, but I mean, I won't like to see him there. But
I will.
Well, yeah, I know you will. But I mean, that is a great question. That's why I've given it question of the week so far, and that's probably all we've got to say on the matter. I mean, if we carry on going, we'll start shouting and screaming about the whole thing. But as you can probably tell, we've got a few Chelsea photos behind us, and hopefully we'll include them in the coming weeks. Terry Venables here, Dennis Wise, and Zola, and then we've got our 1970 Cup final winning team. If you know who all of them are, let us know in the comments because we'd like to know. And this has been your Sad Bastards Corner for episode 2. And thank you, Ian, for coming on today. Filling in for Lewis. Probably better, to be honest, than Lewis. He can't even say anything because he's in Amsterdam now having a good time.
If he can't say anything.
Exactly, yeah. So that's all, guys. Make sure to check us out on all of our social accounts as well. And we'll be back with all the fan cams, all you need to know. And even whilst the international break is going on, we'll still be having content. So make sure you keep locked in for that. And we're out.